What can I get you today?
A strawberry coffee latte. Iced. Oh,
Coming right up.
I don't know why she left me.
I'm just a bartender. I don't know what to tell you.
There she is, my love. It wasn't her. Oh, something doesn't feel right. Oh my god, oh my god!
And then we're just gonna get like. Stay still. Okay, ready? And then be like, he's dead.
A few moments later.
26-year-old male, unconscious after consuming what appears to be whiskey mixed with something else. The evidence was placed in a double styrofoam container to keep the results untouched.
Interesting. We'll take the case.
So what killed Ezra?
First of all, we can determine the identity of the mystery substance in the glass from the bar by finding its enthalpy of solution through calorimetry.
The styrofoam that was recovered by the police can help us create a calorimeter, which will help us when finding the enthalpy of the solution through calorimetry.
The enthalpy of solution can be measured by calculating the change in temperature from 0.5 grams of the substance being dissolved in 25 milliliters of water.
This is a perfect procedure since it reflects a similar ratio of liquid and substance that was recovered from the man's drink. Some concepts that might be helpful to define include heat, which is the energy produced by the bouncing of particles off of each other.
Heat capacity, the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of substance by 1 degree Celsius using the equation Q equals mc delta T.
And specific heat capacity, which is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of a substance by 1 degree Celsius using the equation Q equals mc delta T.
And finally, the enthalpy of heat, which is how much heat is needed, is lost or absorbed in a reaction.
We can calculate the enthalpy of heat by finding its average enthalpy of solution through calorimetry, which is the substance that is dissolved in water.
We can compare that to other enthalpies and come to a conclusion about what the substance is using this chart. Okay.
It was hypothesized that potassium chloride was the mystery substance that killed Ezra, since the average enthalpy of heat was calculated to be 234.03 joules per grams, which was closest to 231 joules per grams, which is the enthalpy of heat for potassium chloride. I'm gonna say I need to clock out early.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, princess. Tell your wife I say hi.
First and foremost, we created a calorimeter by stacking 2 styrofoam cups together and adding a plastic lid on top.
After creating the calorimeter, we put 25 milliliters of water in a 100 milliliter graduated cylinder, ensuring the correct enthalpy ratio for precise measurements, and just poured that into the calorimeter with the thermometer.
Yeah, in terms of the thermometer, it was also plugged into my computer in Logger Pro, so it could show us the initial temperature. Keep in mind, though, we didn't use a physical thermometer because it kept glitching.
And then with everything set up, we would add the mystery substance and mix it up with the thermometer. And then after 10 minutes of stirring, we recorded the temperature.
We could then compare the final temperature of water with the initial one.
Yeah, and we use Logger Pro to collect data about the maximum temperature recorded, and this value will be used to calculate the average enthalpy.
We did have some control variables, which included the 25 milliliters of water used,
The 0.5 grams of substance used,
And finally, the time we took to shake up the mixture, which was 10 minutes. We completed 5 of these tests for each substance, and we added 25 milliliters of water.
Dang, we really took this case seriously with all the depth and precision.
I know, right? They should pay us more.
but are you sure we got the correct results?
Let's see. We found that the enthalpy trials ranged from 83.68 joules per grams to 271.96 joules per grams, with a plateau after the first trial. The average enthalpy of heat was calculated to be 234.04 joules per grams, so we assumed that the substance would be potassium chloride because that was the closest number.
Oops. Turns out the true substance was potassium nitrate.
Wow, we really fumbled here.
I take that back, guys. Maybe we shouldn't get paid more.
There's hope, guys. Considering the circumstances of labs like these having high AEs, I think we're pretty close.
Yes, and with an average absolute value of 1.3, the data was relatively accurate.
Before we, start hanging our heads, let's take a step back and reflect on how we ended up with the incorrect hypothesis.
Good idea. Let's start with some interpretations.
Any thoughts, guys?
I have one. I believe that potassium chloride was chosen because the absolute error from the enthalpy of solution to the provided value yielded an error of around 1.43%.
Great idea, Princess. This makes the other potential identity sodium nitrate. However, potassium nitrate had a higher error than both sodium nitrate and potassium chloride.
Ooh, this is why we ended up identifying the mystery substance as potassium chloride.
Truly unfortunate.
Yep, but we're not done yet. There's still some uncertainty.
I think the main uncertainty is due to a loss of heat.
Good point. The heat from the reaction most likely traveled up and outside the lid of the cup since it wasn't completely sealed.
Wow, y'all are awesome. The loss of heat resulted in an inaccurate reading of the enthalpy by the thermometer.
Right? The inaccurate readings means that the water didn't absorb the entire heat of the reaction, demonstrating why the value was so much lower.
But how can we eliminate this uncertainty next time we come across a similar case?
Princess is right. We gotta keep our jobs. Can't screw up a second time.
I have the best solution.
What is it?
I'd say definitely having access to a better calorimeter that insulates the heat more effectively, but calculating and comparing the density of the mystery substance versus a known list of identities would most likely eliminate the error from the calorimeter.
Good point, but it might also create new errors from the inaccuracies in the device used for measuring mass.
Forget it. We'll worry about that next time.
Don't be silly!
I can't wait for our next adventure, right?
I hope no one dies.
Until next time.
Goodbye, Princess. Hello, world. Results just came in, and despite some uncertainty with our whole procedure, the mystery substance found in the drink that killed Ezra was ultimately identified as potassium nitrate. Fifi, a 30-year-old male and former Russian assassin, was uncovered after the scene and put in police custody and awaiting trial. We send all our prayers and condolences to the family of Ezra. We really lost a fine man that day.
As of right now, this case is closed.